Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever it is you're watching this. Pastor Helmer here one more time, coming to you in this format, in this way, hoping, praying that you are doing okay. Hoping you're healthy, hoping you're hanging in there, hoping you're working and nothing's, you lack nothing, and most importantly, that your faith is strong and that you're definitely not lacking in that. So another A&R this Wednesday where I bring some announcements and a small reflection so you stay connected and updated with our church. First and foremost, I want to start with some good news, just to get some good news, given that our media outlets don't usually give these type of news. So I want to give it to you first and foremost from this place. As of now, California has 1,670,755,000 people who have recovered from COVID. And worldwide, we have 12.4 million people around the world who have recovered from COVID-19. Just some positive news, some good light at the end of the tunnel. So let's continue to do our part. Keep your hands clean, sanitized, 6 feet, and wear those masks. So this week we don't have much of a difference in our announcements. A lot of them are continuing to be the same. Wednesdays, as you guys know, Maura and Samuel are out feeding our homeless community. So if you're interested, or if you're interested and you want to make some time in your busy schedule to come out and help them, we suggest you come out here at 1 o'clock. So at 2 o'clock, you go out and help spread the gospel, not by the words that we speak, but by the actions that we take. So come on by and help us spread joy and help us spread the gospel. The other announcement is that we are asking you guys to spread the word, to spread these videos, to share them, so that the whole church, all the members, stay connected and updated in what's happening with the church. A&R every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, Saturday mornings via Facebook platform. At 11 a.m. we have the Sabbath School in Spanish. 5 o'clock the band goes up with a worship video. And at 5:30 I put up a sermon in Spanish and English via our Facebook platform. But if you do not have Facebook, I can send you the YouTube links. Just reach out to me and I can do that for you. Please spread the word so that we can all stay connected and updated. Furthermore, as we move along, just wanted to let you guys know that if any of you from our church, any of you who attend our church, if you are lacking, if there's anything that you need, if there are any resources that you are in dire need of, please reach out to us so that we can try to help you guys in any fashion, in any way that we can. We are still trying to help as much as we can. We are somewhat becoming a little bit more limited in our resources, but it doesn't stop us from wanting to help and being able to do that. One new announcement, completely new announcement overall, is that although California does continue to go on their restrictions and lockdowns, nothing is completely open as of yet. August for us will be a preparation month for September 12th. We will prepare the month of August to prep for an opening of service on September 12th. We will be hosting service not in the sanctuary. We'll be hosting service on the grass area. So we're going to put up a tent and set it up there so that we can have a service. There doesn't seem to be as many restrictions in open air areas in the numbers of people that can gather, so we want to go ahead and shoot for that. So September 12th, it will be a strictly English service. We are going to try to find a way in which we can do this in a healthy format, in a way where everybody feels comfortable and safe. So as of September 12th, we're going to try to have a service, and we're going to figure out all the kinks on how to do it right and how to do it safely. So on September 12th, some of you English speakers, I will see you if you're so inclined to come and join us for worship. And as always, I'd like to close this part of the announcements as a thank you to all of you who continue to give, who have continued to give to this whole pandemic. All of you who continue to think about the church and everything that we have to pay still. We are able to stay open. We're able to have services. We're able to stay connected. Given to your generosity, given to the money that you've given. We thank you for staying faithful. We thank you for loving the church, and we thank you for the heart that you have to give. May God bless you, and may God double whatever it is you've given. Amen. Now, I was thinking about something this week. I had a question, and I was talking to myself because I do that often. And the question I asked myself, and what I was asking myself is have you noticed? And I was noticing, especially as I'm looking through my social pages, I'm looking at the news, and the question that I asked myself, or I was asking myself, is have you noticed? You noticed all the noise has gone down? Have you noticed that the wind and these sails have died down? Have you noticed deflation in the movements that once fueled the anger of this nation? Have you noticed very few protests are still happening? Looting and the protesting are happening in certain cities, very selected cities. But for the most part, overall, it's died down almost completely. The passion that once raged in the heart of so many kind of just dissipated. It went away. All those who were chanting and declaring change now just went back to work and forgot about this whole thing. Yours probably in my social page that were once filled with all the banners, the flags, the protests, the abbreviations, and the disdains and the issues of all these people. The social media pages that were once flooded with all of these things, all of these expressions that they were given their right to do, all of a sudden are once again and back to being filled with plates of food and cosmetic art and selfies. And with what end? What changed? Although there was some change, right? The Minneapolis police listened to the crowds and to the protests, and they defunded partially the police department in Minneapolis. And now they have a 94% increase in homicides since this happened. New York City defunded the police by $1 billion, and now they have a 177% increase in shootings in New York City. You see, this is typical of humanity, right? It's typical. It happens time and time again. As soon as something runs its course, or time flies by, or even worse, when you're after a cause or a movement, and then you realize that the amount of work and sacrifice that it's actually going to require to make change, it impedes on the specific agenda that I had. When this happens, we tend to forget. We move on. The passion ceases, and maybe we shift focus because we realize what it would take to make that change. Maybe the passion just went away. And this isn't, it's not just common to like the world, the outside world. It's also very common in the church too. We see it. We saw it with Israel, right? God had just parted the sea in two, and Israel walked on dry land, and he had saved them from imminent death and slavery. And Moses is gone for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden they forget. They said, we miss our veggies. Let's get some gold and worship a calf. David, as he did wonders and conquered lands, he's going for a stroll on the top of his castle, and he sees a pretty lady, and it's all over. But you've seen it too, personally. You've seen it. A person gets baptized, and for the first months are ready to take on the world and make promises that they've never made, and promises to do things that they swore they're going to do. Also, the person that gets healed miraculously, that is dying or has a very terminal sickness, or just is very sick, and they pray to God and make promises that they really have a heart to keep and a desire to keep at the time. And maybe God does his part. And then some time passes. And so do the promises. We see it every year, New Year's. This is my year. This is the year I'm going to do it. This is the year it's going to happen. This is the year I get closer to God. This is the year that I'm really going to surrender my life. On average, it takes 8 days to break a New Year's resolution. And I thought about it, and I thought, I'm so glad God doesn't forget. I'm so glad God doesn't lose passion for me. We are the center of his creation. We are We're the apple of his eye. He loves us so much. And you see, that's the difference, church. We're passionate about the things that we love. Or the things that we love or the things that we are in love with. The reason Israel forgot, the reason they kept sinning, the reason that God did miracles and they kept going back to pagan gods is because they were not in love with God. They did not love God. They forgot. Things just, time passed and it all went away. Possibly the reason we forget is because, or we lose focus, is because we have not truly loved Him or have fallen in love with Him. I'm not saying you can't mess up or that you won't mess up and it dictates that by sinning you no longer love. No, I think David shows us that we can still mess up and still love. But I guess what I'm getting to is that passion that I saw these past couple of months and the subject matter in which people were so riled up and fire about, even some of our churches and our people. If we could live that passionately for God, if we can use that same passion, if we can do it also to defend God, to defend, to spread the gospel, that it's not a fad, it's not a temporary movement, it's not a New Year's resolution, it's not a social media post for a bit so see how many likes I can get. It's a lifestyle that we do day in and day out. We do. It's a permanent way of life. Galatians 1:10 says, For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, then I will not be a servant of God, of Christ. So in reality, who are we impressing? Who are we passionately seeking to please? Passion will be demonstrated by love, being in love. And passion and being in love will not cease to exist. It will not dissipate with time. It grows, and it is continual. I pray you're passionate about the God that you serve. I pray you're passionate about the God that you claim you believe in. Don't let the time go by. Live passionately. Fall in love with the God of the universe that loves you so much. May the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, and until we congregate again. Paz a vos.